Hi everybody, hoping you can give me a couple of minutes, 5 minutes or so. Just want to give a quick overview on some of the stuff we covered in our away session, which was still on video with SLT. We did a review of the last 6 months and also looked at what we need to be doing for the 6 months ahead. The best place to start, because it's really important to make sure digital and information is aligned to the direction the business is going and helping to shape the business. So that's what's the priorities for the trust for the next 6 months as a whole. Clearly, the massive priorities are recovery. How do we recover our elective position, deal with the backlog that was caused by COVID, and in particular, making sure we don't have any 104-week waits, 104 weeks for what are priority 4 type cases. And remember, there's priority 1s, 2s, and 3s in the middle of all of that. Also, big priority is ED performance and flow. Real massive challenges across the system in our inability to be able to discharge, and the fact that people have not really got places to go. Primary care are struggling and therefore they're rocking up at ED. So some real challenges with ED performance. And obviously we're still dealing with COVID. Yesterday, 25th of October, we had 79 COVID inpatients, which are getting up to the high levels, which again, dealing with that number means that we need beds, which means it can potentially have an impact on our ability to do the elective work. So it's very frustrating. The hospital and the staff are under a lot of pressure, and we just need to be cognizant of that in terms of how we're responding and doing what we need to do. What does some of all that mean for us? Well, it means that we need to be thinking about how our solutions can assist in that. So immediately, from an operational point of view, more reactively, if there are any issues that need sorting, issues, for instance, with the boards in the wards, for instance, there's been some challenges around some of that in terms of timeouts and whatever. But any operational type issues, as we have been doing, we need to be resolving them as quickly as possible and really thinking about the impact of users not having service might have, especially on the day-to-day running of the hospital from an operational point of view, especially around the pressure, the operational pressures. To help to resolve and try and fix, albeit short term, the issues that we've got with electives, there's been a targeted investment fund announced, and there might be some opportunity to secure some cash there from a digital perspective. However, and again, what we should be thinking about when we're thinking about how do we stop people coming into the trust, we have got to be thinking about how we work better as a system, and we will still be doing that. So thinking about how we deal with things like self-care, prevention in the home, how we do integration, really important, and how we also support things like the abilities to do remote consultations and the like. So a lot of the stuff we're doing is helping to support, and as I said, there's a targeted investment fund which might help to fund some of that. So we'll see what happens with some of that. The only challenge we've got, of course, is our resources and capacity. So one of the big things which came out of the away day, the main thing, was that we've got far too much work on, and it's our capacity and capability. We've only got so much capacity with capability to be able to do the work. So we have to think of ways in which we can do less things well. So although there might be opportunities for money and we can bid for that, we've got to be careful with that as well, because we've got to deliver it in a timely fashion. So in terms of trying to address that, really important to be getting clear about impact assessments. Really important to getting clear, which Roland's doing with the business areas, with the care groups, etc., about what the real priorities are, what trumps other things. That's a real key thing. And also important that we're doing our impact assessments, as I said before, and doing those right. So something that SLT need to consider how we deal with that, even though we're doing all of that, and the care groups and the services are really liking the fact that they've got some clear expectations in terms of when things are getting delivered. They're liking the commissioning process. Do appreciate some people might think it's a bit bureaucratic at our end, but it enables us to do a proper impact assessment and therefore give some good and clear estimates in terms of when something can be done. We need to get a bit smarter about that, and we're still looking at that and improving that. So it's something we need to work through. Conscious of the fact as well, with the big drive from the centre, and by the centre I'm talking about NHS England, government really, there'll be a big pressure and change on reporting. So an increased reporting requirement and changes to the way we've done things, which will require changes to CPD. So Nikki, Gary and team are going to be having to look at that. And although there is pushback about that, it's something that it's going to be another pressure that we're going to have to deal with. I mean, the rest of the away day was very much focused on all aspects of what we're doing. It covered the EPR work. We've got the £3 million, and it was 2. It's gone up to 3, which is good. And that's got to be secured and spent by the end of the year. The other thing about trying to mitigate the resource situation, we're bringing in an external service provider within the procurement process for a major partner to help us deliver a lot of that work to augment our resource, and also a single point where we can buy stuff as opposed to having lots of different contracts. That might hopefully make things a bit easier in future and enable us to bring in some external support to help us in a more effective and a seamless way. So that procurement is due to complete by the end of November. So really important to ramp that up so we can get the support in to get stuff delivered. We're clear now about what we're doing. We need to just get it delivered and over the line. Our EPR case is progressing but proving challenging. We have to go through something called the 5 case model, which is a really arduous process. Scarborough Hospital refurb went through that, and there was a team of about 10 people working on that. We haven't got that, but we're trying to go through some of that to try and get some additional investment for EPR. But again, considering everything together, what have we got realistically? What can we realistically do and deliver with the resources we've got available and the time we've got available? The plan is from the away day is that some key SLT members will do a video of their own. So you will get a 2-minute, 3-minute video to give an update on things like the Essential Services Programme, things like the EPR business case, things like clinical documentation project, really key, the nursing documentation piece, things like intelligence and insight, things like what Roland is doing from a business engagement point of view. So those videos are going to be pulled together and they'll be shared very soon. So this is just a prelude to that. Just while I'm on, I just wanted to highlight a couple of thank yous. First of all, just hats off to the Intelligence and Insight team for the big work they did. Ruth Kendall in particular led some work to challenge the way that we're doing reporting and the like, and also for taking themselves on in terms of looking to change the way they work. The business analysts are doing that, so changing the way we have the relationship we have with care groups, how we can be more effective and more aligned to the priorities of the trust, how we can bring in Power BI, new ways of working. So really keen that the Intelligence and Insight team are taking that on and making those changes happen and bringing those proposals forward. So we're making better and a more effective use of our information aligned to our priorities, not just being a reactive service, which we just haven't got the capacity to do. So that's an important one. Just hats off as well to the training team. A particular hats off in terms of the work that's gone on with System 1. We must remember we've got 2 EPRs in a few I suppose, two main EPRs in the trust. We've got TPP System 1 in community, and there's been a lot of work improving the way we do referrals and usability and the like, which has had a significant positive effect in terms of saving time and effort in the way that referrals are done, which is fantastic. So hats off to the team on that, and there's going to be a paper coming out on that which can be shared, which will go to the resources committee. Big thanks as well to the development team for the work that we've done on the patient information PICS stuff, in particular the integration with the Yorkshire Number Care record and that work. So that's really demonstrating real good value. The ability for GPs potentially to look at data from the hospital, quite significant. So really chuffed about that, and really keen to appreciate there's challenges around our ability to do numerous integrations that we need to do, but really good news on that, and hats off to everyone involved in that. And also, just a quick note to Emily Rice, who appreciate this is a bit late, Emily, so apologies for that, but has received the news that she's completed the apprenticeship L&D level 3 qualification, learning development level 3 qualification, and gets a double distinction for that. So so well done, Emily, on that. And therein lies the end of this quick update. As I said, I'm hoping for more detailed deep dives into each area of the service, and they'll be coming out soon from our SLT members. I will send them with a covering note soon. Thanks very much. Bye bye.